Okay. I'm Jorge L from Alicante, Spain, and I work with multifocal IOLs since almost 20 years, so I'm very fond of them, and at this moment they are about 60% of my practice in my cataract patients. Yeah, the Mplus X has a particular redesign in terms of the optics. The optics are very sophisticated. They have a continuous change in power according to the area of the lens that you consider from the central part of the lens to the near vision ad. And this continuous change of power makes the patient to have a continuous depth of field, and this is evident in the defocus curve. The focus curve of the Mplus X is flat. Is the ideal one in which you have intermediate vision for near intermediate, which is about 60 centimeters, for far intermediate, which is about 80, for intermediate vision is 70 centimeters, which is computer distance. This distance is always accomplished with the Mplus X, and near vision is to the level of J1, which is really excellent, and is not dependent as much as other lenses on the pupil. Pupil size matters, but doesn't matter as much, and so you have a lens that is quite universal in terms of the indication in which you find the patient not to complain about contraceptive function, halo angular and minimal, and the vision of the patient in the office environments is outstandingly good. My patients are extremely satisfied. It's amazing how the patient feel about the vision. I always try to under promise and oversupply, and this is exactly what I have been found in my patients with Mplus X. More and more my patients are coming because they have had previous corneal refractive surgery, and these patients were a challenge before because they were doubtfully and a good indication for refractive lens exchange. I have found that with the Mplus X, these patients can be and are affordable to be treated with a multifocal lens as far as you have an adequate IOL calculation. The Mplus X is tolerant for minimal or moderate deviations from the metropia, and this is another amazing issue. In this case, in which you have a doubtful IOL calculation, the Mplus X is much more tolerant to residual ametropia than happens with other multifocal lenses, and the patient satisfaction is very high because they don't have the loss of contraceptivity that is really one of the main reasons of patient satisfaction in my hands. Well, the IOL performs as in the and correlates well with the clinical patterns that I have observed in my clinical practice. You have a continuous depth of field. You have the focus curve that is in the clinical grounds parallel to what you find in the optical bench. The optical bench gives to us a very good MTF, and this MTF is better than the average of other multifocal lenses. We have very little loss of light, and this is in parallel with the feeling of the patients about not having contraceptivity loss. The patient in the near darkness or in crepuscular environments, they don't feel that they have less light that they should, and this is exactly what is obtained in the optical bench studies. The lens is behaving well, the MTF is excellent, and the loss of light that happens around the focus of the lens is minimal. Yes, varifocality is a very sophisticated concept that I think that is fully accomplished by this lens. You have a continuous change in power according with the surface of the lens. This happens from far to near. To near, you have an excellent near vision ad, which is indeed one of the main accomplishments of the Mplus X, while the intermediate focus is not detectable. You don't have an intermediate focus, you have an area, a focal area, that is an extended depth of focus, which really is what our patients demand in office practice. First practice today is not only to read, you are reading and you are using computers, and you have another distance intermediate, you have your cell phone, and all these elements of distance makes our patients to need a flexibility in terms of the focality of the lens, and this is what has happened in the Mplus. I think that varifocality is the term that defines better the Mplus X.